sniper and you just like walked in front of it and you had like this come at me bro sort of pose. Oh, this is just so...
You know, it's one of my, I love that moment, but it's so, for me, it was so, how do I say it? It's a great moment for me because it was like the moment of movie stars. It's the moment I've always seen in the movies. Very self-indulgent. I love that moment because when do you get a chance to do that? I thought, in the back of my head, in the third take of that scene, I'm like, wow, I'm such a badass, wow, I'm such a badass, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. And then I had to let it go, but that is certainly one of my favorites. You pinned it. Also the beginning. Look, we have beginnings and endings in our work, in our life, with our children. You know, we see them born and then we see them go to college. Those are mile markers. And so the very beginnings of, I love the beginning of being in Boyos and him not knowing who I was. And I just love that little fascination where he's sitting there and he has no idea that I'm really the man. You know, and I'm just a guy who says, is that everything to your satisfaction? Can I get your refill? Hey, how's your chicken? Everything okay? Okay. Any complaints? Call the manager. You know, I love that guy too. So the beginning is also very important to me.
In Breaking Bad, how did it feel to get your face burnt off when you died?
A little bit sickening. You know, I've died before, but this death really took its toll on my psyche.
Did you see the way that was asked, by the way? You just came right up, hey, how did it feel to get your face burnt off? Bye. Back there, wow, what about...
Come on up here, how about if you get yours blown off?
Nice.
The good thing is I have a good doctor. No, really not bad, right? I'm only a little scar here, but I'm good.
No real damage done, right?
Yeah. No, I had a root canal too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question. Hello, sir.
You were discussing earlier your working relationships on the set for Breaking Bad and how you had one with Bryan Cranston. How did it feel having your own personal henchman with Mike, and what was your working relationship with him on the set?
I love Jonathan Banks. He's just an incredible actor. He's a big man. I really related to Jonathan because we sort of felt like brothers in a lot of respects. He is that actor that I have been, you know, that has not been acknowledged enough for what he does and has the facility to do such great character work. He finally got the chance to do that on Breaking Bad. We had a really good feel for each other. It's a great feeling to have someone watching your back, you know? I mean, I don't walk with bodyguards, I don't have people watching out for me because I'm a humanist and I feel like, you know, if I watch out for all of you in the room, you'll watch out for me. And so I'm cool with talking to people and walking alone. But it certainly was great on the set to have folks who were always looking out on my behalf, and that feeling feels good.
Excellent. Next question, sir.
Hello. How do you feel to watch yourself act? Like, if you watch a movie or a show you've been in?
For a long time, there's certain movies I've done I've never seen. It depends on the character that I'm playing. Yeah, I've never seen. Let me see. I saw The Last Holiday, but there's a film. It's in my head.
It just seems so bizarre to be in a movie and then sort of like. Oh.
Yeah, there's some characters that I just don't want to see, it is kind of strange. I'm not at all adverse to not seeing some of my own films. I know that there was a great actor years ago, David Niven, who never watched any of the movies he was in at all.
I was going to say, there's no shyness where you go, I can't watch. You can quite happily watch.
I was flipped out when I saw myself in a film that Spike Lee did called School Days. It was the first really large role in a film I'd had, and I was like so big on the screen, and I couldn't tell if I was good or not. And I thought I was good. I didn't really know, but that was that feeling that one of the only times I had this really strange feeling about seeing myself, and it was a fear of success. Like, what if people really like this character I created? What if he, is on movie posters, and he was, and Big Brother Almighty, Julian. It's like, what happens then? What will that do to me?
Sorry, I'm curious, is that right? You were a fear of success? You were going, your life was good, you didn't want it changed, or what?
Yeah, but I just didn't know if I liked that vision of who I am out there in the world. You know what I mean? And so I've been able to watch, Breaking Bad. I'm highly critical. The feeling and the movement and the juice isn't doing it. like because I'm a theater actor. So when you do it on the stage, that's the good feeling. To watch it back, then, obviously I'm saying something that if you're cluing in, I probably am trying to lose my judgment. Because then when you watch it, I'm judging. I'm judging what I look like, I'm judging how I said that line, and I've since gotten better about it, but for me as an actor, the juice is doing it. I'd rather watch you act, Simon.
You don't want to see me act. There's questions waiting here. By the way, it's good to have Giancarlo here, isn't it? Thank you, people. Give you a huge round of applause. So lovely to have you here. That's what I just want to say, we've just shifted things slightly. Jenna, who's coming in afterwards here, no disrespect to you, Giancarlo, just letting the people know. We've just moved things slightly because there's been a delay in photos, so we're going to plow through these questions here. It's so good to be all here. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Next question.
After watching the series of Breaking Bad, I read there's been really impossibility of work, so was Gus gay? That's a serious question.
It's a great question, and what I love about the way Vince set up that episode of Hermanos is that it's up to you to sort of decide. If you're asking me, I would say not. Interestingly enough, I really believe that Gus really wanted to bring people to their best selves. I think he had more of a morality and more of a strict code of conduct than to be involved with someone he worked with. That's probably the only reason why I would say I did not play it that way. I believe he had the ultimate respect for human beings. He had the ultimate respect for someone who had the talent that Max had, because Max had the recipe, and he was willing to put him through school. So this is the reason why I say that Gus was not gay. If you noticed in the house, when I had dinner with Walt, there were all these pictures on the wall. Those are pictures of my children. They were a little out of focus. I was really hoping that you'd meet Gus's wife and kids eventually. But that, in my mind, that's how I played him, that he did have a wife and children. Although I think it's brilliant that there was the possibility that he could be. Look, Chaz Palminteri used to say to me, Giancarlo, Chaz Palminteri, the actor, Giancarlo, you dress too nice. You dress too nice. Everything is put together. You're like me. I said, what do you mean I'm like you, Chaz? You're a little bit like me, It's got the pants got to match, the ties got to match. I said, what are you saying, Chaz? Well, I'm not trying to say anything terrible, but it's like you're a metrosexual. I said, excuse me, a metro what? You're metrosexual. I said, but Chaz, wait a minute, what does that mean? He says, it means you're a man, but you got some gay tendencies there. I said, Chaz, I think I'm going to leave now. No, don't get upset. Chaz is married, he's got a wife, the whole deal. I said, Chaz, is that why it takes you 4 hours to get ready for a premiere? He said, it does, it takes him 4 hours. But that's the first time I really understood that word. He said, you're very meticulous. And a lot of the meticulousness that came about through Gus was part of me, the tie straightening, the way I was kind of dressed. So I understand it, but and I think it's great that Vince left that kind of open, but I don't feel that was Gus's issue, because Gus was upstanding, and I think for him to be involved with someone that he was trying to bring up would have been against his moral compass.
It would undermine his, yeah, I understand. Right, we have time for one more question. One more, sorry about that, but we've got to keep moving on. So one more question, you there, sir. With love latex on your front. Awesome.
Yeah. I was just wondering, how does it feel to have big actors such as Anthony Hopkins in particular, real big fans of your work? Is it quite overwhelming?
Wow, it's such a great question to end on. And my dearest Terry, would you remind me? I've had Anthony Hopkins' email for about 2 months now, trying to find the words to write him and say thank you for being such a big fan of mine. It can be overwhelming. I think it's been overwhelming, which is why I haven't written Sir Anthony Hopkins yet. Look, I'm in gratitude. The greatest feeling we can have is gratitude. One of the greater feelings that we can have, and the gifts that we can give to each other, is the gift of our time. So I want to thank Simon for giving me your time here and sharing in this interaction, and I want to thank you for all being here, because you could be somewhere else in the hall, you could be doing something else, but you came here to hear me say a few words and answer a few questions. That's the greatest gift we can give. I give the gift of my time and my passion to what I do. And it is overwhelming to me that actors who I consider to be masters, Sir Anthony Hopkins has said in the press how much he really loves what this show and particularly what I do in this show. And if there's anybody who could replace him in his movie series, it would be me. That's a great and astounding compliment. So yes, first feeling I have is overwhelmed, and then I feel like, you know, I'm right where I belong. I've followed my heart, my gut, my passion. I'm doing what I love, and maybe it means I'm just getting better at what I do. That people who do it better than I do have a regard for me and have a respect for what I do. So ultimately, I'm in gratitude, and I'm really, really happy to have been able to be here and talk to you today, and that you came out in such numbers. And I express to you and leave you with a thought, and it's why I love these Armageddon Comic-Cons and all the Comic-Cons, is that we are here in this world, and I feel it in New Zealand more than I have probably most anywhere in the world. We are in this world of creation. When I went out to Hobbiton, I saw this beautiful land. When I got here the night I arrived, I said to my friend Terry, wow, there's a great feeling here. We're energy. We're human beings. We're 90% water, 90% electrical. We are energy. And the energy here is really, really good. So we live in this world of creation. What are we supposed to be doing? No matter what we choose as a vocation, we're supposed to be creating. This is the juice, this is the thing, this is what life is really about. Whether you're creating the next way to get solar power to New Zealand, or the next thing to be in service to each other in that way, to do recycling in your neighborhoods, that is all a creation that is up to you. And to create a way to preserve this pristine land and to keep it going is up to you as well. So I'll leave you with that. Let's create a better world and have some more fun at these Comic-Cons, and we'll all be happy. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Giancarlo Esposito. Lovely, lovely man. Thank you so much again, Giancarlo. We'll see you around later on the panel. Excellent. All right. Love it. Good advice and good things. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do now is we're going to take just a couple of minutes. If you're here to see